But it'll be like this, remember the time of when a father and his girlfriend groomed a domestic terrorist, Albion celebrity, in 2007 with the mindless neurofeedback type of deal, and basically, and remember the time of when they were grooming a domestic terrorist. They were grooming a domestic terrorist. Well, he didn't kill anybody. He didn't kill. He wasn't like Timothy McVeigh or Vodka Come Here type of deal in Columbine. No, but they have no idea how badly they upended his life and his community, his friends, his family, his relatives, and they have no idea how badly they upended things, and they had no idea how badly they upended his life and basically the community he lived in. How badly they upended it and how badly they damaged it. How badly they damaged it. And how the damages and how damaging it is and how damaging it is. So it is terrorism. It's domestic terrorism. It's domestic terrorism. It's called domestic terrorism, where they groomed a domestic terrorist. Remember the time of when they groomed an internet celebrity? They groomed a domestic terrorist out of an internet celebrity. And then the school started finding out it was a real commotion. So they made up a fake bomb threat to upend and basically radicalize the domestic terrorist. And they radicalized the domestic terrorist. And basically enrolled him. They enrolled a domestic terrorist in the pathway deal, in the pathway type of deal, and so they basically interned this domestic terrorist at IKEA. They interned him there, and then he won this championship, and so they were enrolling this domestic terrorist in, and then when it was, so they gave rise to a domestic terrorist. Because of moral cowardice, because they didn't know how to raise the son. His academic legacy is in the same category as the My Lai massacre or the Bosnia 95, or it's gotta be in the same category as it'll be looked at the way they look at war zones and crime scenes and mass shootings or school shootings in paper form. They're gonna be looked at the same way. This is the legacy, and this is the reality type of deal. And they would say, well, remember the time of when, this happened, and so well, he was, and what about his? So now he's not a teenager anymore. The teenager fell in 2009, and it really fell in 2011. And they would say, well, he's 34, he's in the 34th Reymega day year, and he's an adult. He was in mental institutions 3 times in 5 years for suicide, for suicidal tendencies. How the fuck did this happen? Why the fuck was he in mental institutions 3 times in 5 years for suicide? Why the fuck was this happening? How the fuck did this happen? And his parents and his family, they all enabled his downfall. They enabled his downfall because because human beings really don't love. They don't have the ability to love. They never were loving human beings. They were never really loving beings to begin with, or anything. And they were really, really never loving to begin with or to end with. And they were not really loving, and so they enabled his downfall by not giving a fuck not giving the address they needed, not addressing and help he needed, not addressing his needs from a very, very early age. So now 1 billion lives are upended because of this. 1 billion lives in the world will be upended because of their moral and moral cowardice as a being, as a group of people. That's the deal. And not to mention, this is the type of deal that it'll be like. And so they basically, this is the real LP Slim Shady. This is a drop LP Slim Shady. It's a drop LP Slim Shady. This is what the real deal is. This is the real deal. And then they basically will be like that. Until next time, Reymega, signing off.